Okay, welcome everyone to the latest edition of Centa's webinar series for teachers. We are thrilled to have every one of you over here. I hope you're all feeling very energized and eager to delve into today's topic. Please share your name, your city, and country from where you're joining in our chat so that everyone knows from where the audience are from. Thank you so much. So today's topic for the webinar will be holistic early childhood education, nurturing young minds. The facilitator for this session will be Ms. Soma Chandra. Ms. Somachandra is a distinguished educator who has been with the City Montessori School Gomti Nagar campus from Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh since 2012, excelling in roles such as primary teacher, IT trainer, pre-primary in charge, and headmistress. Recognized nationally and as well as internationally, she was named one of India's top 10 learning champions and won the 2024 International Teachers Olympiad, which CENTA conducts every year, in English, EVS, and mathematics. A recipient of the Indian Education Awards 2023, Ms. Chandra also holds numerous digital badges from CENTA. She also holds various certifications in Google Tools, AI, and virtual training. She is committed to innovation and fostering positive learning environments and empowering educators through her leadership. Welcome again, ma'am. Before I hand over the session to the facilitator, I would like to inform you all that you'll all receive records of participation for the session. Please fill out the feedback form that will be shared with you towards the end of the session. So I request everyone to participate actively. Please ask questions in the chat box. We'll try to answer as many questions as possible. Also, we are excited to introduce a new process that will make downloading a record of participation smoother and more efficient. Here's how it works. Open the Center app on your device towards the end of the session. Navigate to the ongoing webinar section. Click on Submit Feedback. Please note that this option will open only after 6 p.m. IST. During the end of the session, we'll share a 4-digit code required for the feedback. Enter this code to access the feedback form. Complete the feedback form and you will be able to download your record of participation instantly. So this process was introduced to streamline your experience and also ensure that your participation is instantly recognized. Moving forward, the feedback form will exclusively be available only in the Center app after every session, making it very easy for you to share your thoughts and receive your records of participation seamlessly. So we encourage everyone to provide feedback and enhance future sessions. Thank you for your participation and cooperation. Over to you, Suma ma'am.
Thank you, Chaitra, for that introduction. I am overwhelmed. Good
Okay.
evening, dear educators. Thank you for joining the webinar on holistic childhood education, nurturing young minds. I believe education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. Our time together today is about exploring how we as educators can ignite that spark of curiosity, creativity, and compassion in children. As educators, we are not merely imparting academic skills, we are shaping the future. Our mission extends beyond teaching academic skills. Do you agree or not? We nurture the child physically, emotionally, socially, and cognitively. Do you agree? If you agree, audience, then give a thumbs up. Ensuring that every aspect of their development is catered to. Let's embark on this journey together to understand how we can create a nurturing environment for the young minds in our classroom. Our objectives are equip educators with strategies to promote holistic development, provide techniques to enhance physical and motor skills through engaging activities, introduce problem solving tasks to stimulate cognitive development, explore methods to support early language acquisition and communication skills, introduce a lots of hands-on activities, I'll be sharing with all of you all a lot of hands on activities today. Enhance social and emotional skills through group activities and peer interaction. The key attributes for holistic development of a child are physical and motor development, cognitive development, language development, development of science, experience, and creative expression, and social and emotional development. But, educators, before I dive, I'd love to know what you feel most challenged by in your classroom. Is it encouraging motor development? Is it stimulating cognitive growth? Is it supporting language development? Or is it enhancing social and emotional skills? You can post your answers in the chat box. Keep posting. I'm waiting for the answers. All of these. Manju says all of these. Rubina says language development. Okay. Dinesh says social and economic. Okay. Manika says all. Language, social and emotional. Neeti says language, Junu, all of them. That's amazing. So, our first segment would be on physical and motor development. Children may learn by doing, and physical activities are vital for their overall development. Motor development involves the process through which a child learns to control their body movements. Indeed, motor skills, the process through which children learn to control and coordinate their body movements. Jumping, skipping, pasting, tearing, these are all motor skills. When an infant crawls to grab a rattle, mouths it, and shakes it, they are using cognitive as well as sensory skills to explore cause and effect and gather information about it. The figure, whether it's hard or soft, isn't it? Similarly, children imagine, they come to know what kind of stuff, the tactile, the sensory nerves, everything get highlighted. Now, on your screen, you can see a lot of activities are being depicted because motor skills are further divided into gross motor skills and fine motor skills. Jump, run, play, swing, slide, bounce, threading, tearing, pasting. Can you tell me once which motor skills are we depicting? Which ones are gross motor skills and which one are fine motor skills? Come on, audience, I'm waiting for your answers. Educators, identify which ones are gross motor skills and which one are fine motor skills. Okay, threading is fine. Shaila says jumping is gross. Yes, Savita. Ela says jumping and running are gross. Absolutely. Shikha says all. No, you have to identify which one is fine motor skill and which one is gross motor skill. Yes, Sushma says tearing and pasting is fine. Left one is gross and right one is fine. Absolutely. So, fine motor skills and gross motor skills, the two most important skills. Fine motor skills uses small muscles. Your fingers, your wrist are involved in fine motor skills. Whereas in gross motor skills involves large muscles, groups in body. Writing, buttoning, picking up of small objects are all fine motor skills. Whereas example of gross motor skills are running, jumping, swimming, throwing a ball. Fine motor skills requires precision, whereas gross motor skills focuses on overall movement and strength. A question for the audience. How do you currently incorporate physical activities into your daily classroom routine? Can you share an example of an activity that works particularly well for your students? Any one activity which you have taken in your class that has worked really well? Oh, Bhavna, jumping. Wow. Actions. Huma Jafar says actions. Come on, which activity which you have taken in your class works extremely well? Energizers. Ela says energizers. Absolutely. Clay modeling. Nasma says clay modeling. Okay. Dinesh says running. Okay. Ria says dancing. Wow, children must be loving you for this. Warm up exercises. Raina says threading. Absolutely. Now, some of the essential things for optimum physical development are: first and foremost is health and hygiene. Personal hygiene, clean clothes, clean surroundings are extremely important for physical development. Then, muscular coordination, we have just discussed the fine motor skills activities and development of gross motor skills activities like walking, throwing, catching, climbing, threading, clay modeling are extremely, extremely important. Next, as we know, a healthy body resides, a healthy mind resides in a healthy body. So it is very, very important to focus on their diet. Children should have balanced diet. All the nutrients are extremely important for their physical growth. Energy giving, carbs, proteins, vitamins, minerals, extremely important. Do you agree? If you agree, give a thumbs up in the chat box. And how many of you all actually have a balanced diet, teachers? In my school, we actually, in pre-primary section, we follow a tiffin time schedule so that every day something nutritious goes in their stomach. Children feel happy to have their tiffin with their peer group. They actually enjoy. They are cranky at home. No, I don't want to have vegetables. I don't want to have pulses. But in school, when they sit with their peers, they eat everything. Another important segment, an activity which will help in development of gross motor skills as well as fine motor skills. You can use cardboard or cartons, a big box. Take a big cardboard box closed on all sides, cut holes on the sides of the box in the shape of a window and doors. Ask the children to crawl. You can use it for Montessori and nursery classes. That will help them to develop their fine motor skills also and gross motor skills also. Another activity which can be used for age group of 3 to 6 years, you just require dancing sticks, ribbons, hula hoops. Give the children some ribbon or dancing sticks to jump, use hula hoops, and tell them to use it as many times. That will help in development of their gross motor skills also and fine motor skills also. Okay, let's have the poll question. Chaitra, are you sharing the poll questions with the audience?
Yes. The Yes, the poll is shared with the audience.
Wonderful. Which of the following is the key activity to enhance fine motor skills in early childhood? Okay, I prefer healthy food. I allow junk on Fridays only. Wow.
Okay. We have the poll results. Finger painting has gotten 61%, while running
Wow.
has got 20%, jumping has got 10%, and storytelling has got 10%.
Wow. So children enjoy finger painting a lot, I believe. Wonderful. And finger painting is related to development of fine motor skills. Another segment which is very, very important is cognitive development. Cognitive development is how a child learns to think, explore, and make sense of the world. Encouraging curiosity and problem solving in children is essential for their intellectual growth. Early childhood is the period where children begin to engage with their environment through their five senses, laying the foundation for lifelong learning. And those five basic senses are sense of sight, sense of hearing, sense of touch, sense of taste, and sense of smell. Again, I have got one activity for all of y'all. It's for age group of 3 to 6 years. You just require picture cards. Make children sit in a small group of 5 to 6 each. Give them cards so that they learn to identify and match the objects to same pictures or objects. Discriminate different object from the group, like common objects, all the fruits on one side, pictures of all the animals on the other side. Another activity is for 3 to 6 years again. Materials required are bell, glass, spoon, pebbles, different musical instrument. Ask children to sit in a circle again, close their eyes, and listen to the sounds created carefully. You can even use your video clippings, your phones, use a mic, then create the sound of clap, tap, bell, glass. Ask the children to identify the sounds. The children, the child who identifies the maximum number of sounds, they can be greeted by clapping. Even silent clapping, which we follow in our school, can be taken up. Put mystery box, I'm absolutely Jegna. Put mystery box and put instructions inside. Absolutely. That's an amazing activity which you have shared. Yes, Chatra, are we ready for the
Okay.
next?
Yes, we are ready for the next poll. Which of the following activities can best promote cognitive development in young children? So this time I'll go from the bottom. Playing tag has only 4%. Group singing has 8%. Drawing has 12, and solving puzzle has a whopping 75% votes.
Wow. So silent clapping from my side. Pooja says listening words and running, making sounds. Neelu says we do this in Montessori with Montessori apparatus. Absolutely. Maria Montessori apparatus are being used. Excellent. Another important segment is language development. Children often are not, initially when they come to school, are not that expressive, right? The teachers have to create a bond with the children. It's extremely important to create a bond with your students. Language development in early childhood is a critical domain that supports the ability to communicate, think, learn, and form relationships. In the first few years of life, children absorb language through listening, speaking, reading, and eventually writing. The language development domain describes children's developing ability to effectively communicate and understand language in different environments for a variety of purposes. In the first few years, children develop many of the oral language skills that help them to learn to read when they go to school. They keep developing language skills throughout childhood and adolescence. It supports the child's ability to communicate, to express and understand feelings, to think and learn, to solve problems, to develop and maintain relationships. That's really important. Encouraging children to use language expressively and receptively in the classroom can significantly enhance their overall literacy. Don't you think, teachers? Yes, Zavish ma'am. Language sometimes can be a huge barrier. As teachers, we need to be very observant and then approach the student to help. Absolutely. Initially, they are not familiar. So at times, they are not able to express what they want. Jagna says picture walk and sight words reading can be used for building language. Absolutely. That's a very interesting activity. In pre-primary section, when the students are not able to speak, it's the teacher's expression and gestures. Absolutely. Namrata says my activity chat time for leaders. Shefali says language is the first and the best tool to express. Insightful sessions with the children, circle times. Yes, indeed, circle times are very, very important. I was about to talk about it. Thank you, Anu. Free conversation without chat. Free conversation as far as possible to be the first can be the first activity of the day. When they enter, we welcome them, then we have the formal prayer, and then we can begin our day with the circle time. Children have a lot to tell, believe me. As soon as they come in the morning, they like to share with everyone what happened at home. Do you agree with me, yes or no? Yes? Thank you. They like to share with everyone what happened at home, what they had eaten, what they did the previous evening, or what they have seen on the way while coming to school. This activity will provide opportunity to every child to express himself and share his experiences. Once satisfied, the children can go back and settle down and move to the next activity. The role of the teacher is really, really important. She should encourage each and every child to share their movement, right? So, do you
Okay.
have circle time, Chaitra? Okay, we'll have the poll question first, and then
We
we'll
have
go
the
on to
poll
the
question.
circle time.
Yeah. Which technique is most effective for supporting early language development? And a whopping 90% people have answered storytelling and role play. Uh,
Absolutely.
Physical exercises gets a 5%, silent reading gets a 4, and science experiments gets a 1.
All right.
Hmm.
Bingo. Role plays and story narrations are extremely, extremely important. They narrate this, they have a different perspective of seeing a picture. Give it to them, ask them to narrate a story, they'll create their own story. That's now my question to the audience is how many of you all conduct circle time in your schools? Yes, circle time is most of the time, but not always. We must try it out. We do follow it in pre-primary section. Yes, okay. Sonal and Hitesh Maya says yes, most of the times. Gurpreet says every day. Vishaka says yes, we do every day. Even we can do it in primaries and juniors, isn't it? When we allow the children to speak, share their experiences, it's amazing. At times we should try. Most of you will say every day. Good going, educators. This way, we are not only emphasizing their language skills, but also their creative skills. One more such activity. While on some days the teachers can instruct the children. This is your homework, children. Observe something on your way to school and talk to me about it the next day. Remember to observe carefully all that you saw on the way and tell us. Encourage children to use complete sentences and grammatically correct speech by repeating their phrases or repeating their sentences in correct form and not by correcting them directly. They will tend that will tend to discourage them. If a child says, "Ma'am, toilet," oh, you mean to say, "May I go to the toilet?" Don't say, "Ma'am, don't say this, ma'am, toilet, it's wrong." Say, "May I go to the toilet?" No. Repeat their sentence in correct form. That way, they will learn faster. Okay. Okay, Sneha says, will we get the slides? You will contact the center team. We will be sharing. It will be on YouTube. You can go through it again. Okay, what strategies do you use, dear teachers, for promoting the language skills? Share it in chat box. Another such activity, I have named it Jungle Mein Mangal. Imagine what fun. Picture cards, it can be used for age group of 3 to 6 years. Picture cards for familiar animals and birds. Ask children to sit in a circle, then give them picture cards of familiar animals or birds to each child and instruct them not to show it to their partners. Then ask each child one at a time to create the sound of the animal or the bird and others to identify. When the children are able to identify the animals or birds, they can be asked to create the sound along with action. Children can also ask them to create a sound in rhythm. Cuckoo, bo, oh. Imagine what fun you will have in your classroom, isn't it? Yes. Yes, you can use storybooks also, picture talk also. That would also enhance. You can use hand puppets, ask them finger puppets, and ask them to narrate stories, create their own stories. Picture talk, yes. Show and tell activity, indeed, show and tell activity is also a very important activity for language development. Now, my question for the audience: what strategies have you found effective in promoting language development for your children who may be shy or who doesn't want to interact so much in the class or who is not inclined to participate in verbal activities? Any such activity which you have tried? Share it in the chat box so that we all learn through the center platform. Okay, pep talk. Pep talk, amazing. Okay, child will be given 1 minute time to speak, just a minute. Okay, playway method, storytelling. How you have encouraged those children who doesn't want to or who hesitate to speak? Pick and speak. Okay, Shilpa says pick up a toy and speak about it. Okay, Lata Balakrishnan says show and tell activity. Jamini says just a minute. Okay. Jegna, we can also use flashcards. Absolutely. Seema Mishra says object talk. Okay. Anjana says jam activity. Sneha says show and tell. A lot of show and tell. Priyanka says expressing. Okay. I've done it enhancing imaginative skills. Okay, it enhances imaginative skills of the children. Absolutely, peer activities. Okay, Sudha says ask them to talk about their favorite cartoon or favorite thing. Absolutely, that's really, really nice. Next, development of science experience and creative expressions. Creativity in early childhood education is not about artistic ability, it's also about fostering scientific thinking, exploration, and experimentation. Do you agree with me or not, teachers? Is it engaging? Does it enhance their holistic development? Engaging children in hands on activities allow them to develop curiosity, learn to hypothesize and test their ideas. Through simple scientific experiments and creative activities, we can nurture their natural sense of wonders, isn't it? Creative development is the development of the ability to make new things, encouraging them to be imaginative, thoughtful, and familiarizing the children with artistic media of self-expression. For example, letting children observe how objects behave in different environments, or encouraging them to experiment with colors or materials can be exciting way to build foundational scientific knowledge. Do you agree? Do and learn. Samina says do and learn. Absolutely. Children learn by doing. Sai that says yes, we do it. Okay. Any such activity, any creative activity which you have tried in your classrooms, teachers, you can share it. Creativity and aesthetic appreciation is extremely important. All children have potential and creativity, but in different degree. Like our fingers are not same. In the same way, each and every child is different. Some may be good in writing, some may be good in speaking, some may be good in drawing, some may be good in clay modeling, some may be good in drawing, coloring, pasting. Creativity is not identical with intelligence. Do you agree with me? It is not mandatory that a child who scores 100 out of 100 or 90 out of 100 will be a creative person. Environment is important for nurturing creativity. Absolutely. Conducive environment is important, isn't it? Yes, yes. Okay. Opportunities and facilities for free play, particularly dramatic and constructive play, fosters creativity in children. That's really true. Freedom to children is the main medium to promote creative expressions. Acceptance and appreciations are the main tools to accept creative expression and aesthetic values in children. Treat students the way they are and not the way they are expected. Absolutely, Zebish. We should accept them. Every child is different. Every child is capable of doing something or the other differently. Encouraging children for exploration, imagination, and curiosity is extremely important. Through simple scientific experiments and creative activities, we can nurture their natural sense of wonders. For example, letting children observe how objects behave in different environments or encouraging them to experiment with colors or materials can be way exciting to build foundational scientific knowledge. Light two candles. Activity. Game science. Light two candles and cover one with glass or let the children observe what happens. This activity demonstrates that air is essential for burning. Introducing them to scientific concept would be extremely fun and engaging way to make them learn something. What other scientific experiments you have tried in your class? I've also tried, we have used paper napkins. Take colors, put the napkins inside those colors, and we say the colors are moving. The napkin will soak colors, and we say colors are moving. Have you tried anything like this? If you have, share the activity. Yes, this activity will teach them air is important. You can also divide the children into two groups and make the children sit close to each other. The teacher can lit a candle, put it, and ask the children to cover it with a glass. Again, after some time, light will go off. Ask one child to cover one candle with the glass. It develops understanding that air is necessary. Children become aware of air is around us. Oh, floating water. Namrata has tried floating water. Shafali has tried SMAM capillary movement against gravity. Wow. Floating and sinking. Shraddha has tried floating and sinking. Anadi has tried mixing primary colors to learn secondary colors. That's amazing way of teaching them about colors. Manju said balloons inflated and deflated activity. Superb. Rebecca says kaleidoscope. Okay. Shraddha says dancing corns. Oh, that's an amazing activity. Seema says germination. Wow, we're asking them to grow
Hello.
use seeds. Yes, Chaitra. The next poll
Huh.
question.
The latest poll questions. What is the key benefit of encouraging creative expression in early childhood? 51% of the audience have answered, but building emotional intelligence. 34% have answered enhancing fine motor skills. 5% has answered improving math skills. And 10% have answered developing physical coordination.
Wow.
So
Wonderful audience.
the
Okay.
audience are
Monia, absolutely. Monia says changing of direction, observing through glass and water. Absolutely. Dinesh says, I am not a science teacher, so I've not tried. Okay, do try it. For this, we don't require that. It's not important that you become a science teacher. Make your classes interesting. Okay, Sneha says blue colored water in a zip bag to observe and understand precipitation. Wow, I'll definitely try it, Sneha. Mixing colors. Ma says rainbow jar. Amazing. Shalu says showing them fresh and dry leaves. Learned this activity. Will definitely use it. Sedimentation, decantation, and filtration. Yes, that can be taken up in the classrooms. So it's really, really important. Making your classrooms engaging, fun loving. Children would love to come to school. They won't say to their parents, I don't want to go to school. Another is comb magic. Divide the children in four groups. Give a big size comb and arrange cut pieces of waste paper, colored paper, wood powder, and ask children to comb their hair and touch the comb with the wood powder or pieces of paper. Children will see the particles clinging to the comb and enjoy the magic. That they'll definitely enjoy. I've tried and tested, and so I'm confident. Okay. Charles Renuma says Shapali says electromagnetic effect. Also, she's tried. Namrata says reminded me of childhood time. Oh, thank you. So we've gone back to our own childhood. That's amazing. Next segment is very, very important, and that is social and emotional development. Social and emotional development is crucial for children to learn how to interact with others, manage their emotions, and build positive relationships. That's extremely, extremely important. A child wonders, why should I develop emotionally? Why is it important? Development of those qualities and behavior will help them in their adjustment in the society. And what are the important key factors or the attributes for social and emotional development is when children get safe and secure environment, they get praise and encouraged by their teachers and by their parents, and when we trust them. We ask a question and then we are not allowing them to answer. We are not giving them enough time to think. You go to the, okay, you cannot go through the chapter one more time. I'll ask you tomorrow. Okay, the next child. Give them time. Trust me, they will come up with an answer. Okay, praise and encouragement is extremely important. When you prepare a dish and when you serve it to your parents or to your children or to your husband, you eagerly wait for them to praise so that you could try out another dish. In the same way, children love when you praise, when you encourage them, when you say good job, which we do in our school. Bravo, well done. Language of encouragement is extremely, extremely important. Children want more activities in school, absolutely. Build healthy relationship with children and trust them, motivate them, praise them. Absolutely, Jaspreet, I agree with you. Praising is very, very important. Uma says a fun way to teach kids about the properties of liquid and how they combine to create colorful effect. Zebish says teaching is not just about academics, it's more about emotional connect. With our students, this can bring massive change in them. Yes. If you can mold them, if you'll praise them, encourage them, build in trust in them, then believe me, whatever you will say, they'll follow your instructions. Absolutely. Activities like group play, role playing, and collaborative tasks will foster social skills such as empathy, cooperation, and emotional regulations. That will be extremely, extremely important. Some of the activities which I've depicted on the screen for social development, you can use social awareness activities like puppet show. We can have drama, role plays, celebrations of festivals, picnic, birthdays, national holidays, group games, group dance, use of humor, expressions. Then for emotional development, dressing up, creative moments, action songs, water play, sand play, doll play, dramatization, home decoration. These are all activities which will help them in social and emotional development. Motivation. Radha says motivation is extremely important. It is extremely important to motivate the students. Chaitra, are we ready for the next poll question?
Yes, we're ready for the next poll question, and this time the audience have almost got no doubts. So the question is, which activity would best help foster social and emotional development in children? And 91% of the audience have answered group play and peer interaction, and
Amazing.
3% each for solo painting and independent reading, and 2% for watching educational videos.
Wow. So group activity and peer interaction extremely, extremely important. Are you going to try it tomorrow, teachers? Give me a thumbs up if you're going to try it tomorrow. Take out some time from your lesson plans for the social and emotional activity. Right. Next such activity is my emotions. Provide children with some paper cuts as circles and crayons and ask them to draw different emotions using only their facial parts. Okay, many of them are saying they will try. Wow. Children, students are going to get surprised tomorrow. I'm waiting. So they'll draw different emotions. Okay. Children will draw faces representing different emotions on paper circles. This activity will definitely allow children to explore their emotional world and share how they feel. Encouraging emotionally literacy and self awareness is extremely important. So, a lot of activities we have taken up today. Hope you will use all of them. So, as we conclude this session, remember, teachers, that childhood is a time of immense potential. Each child is unique with their own pace and way of learning. And as educators, we have the privilege of nurturing young minds and helping them grow confident, compassionate, and as capable individuals. Let's continue fostering environment that caters to the holistic development of every child. I would like to end my session on this note. In every child, there is a dream taking flight, a spark of wonder shining bright. With every step in play and in song, they learn, they grow where they belong. With hands that mold and hearts that guide, we walk with them side by side. For the world they'll build is yet to be, and we plant seeds of what they'll see. Together, we can make learning a joyful and meaningful experience for all our students, isn't it? Now that we have explored the core areas of holistic education, let's take a moment to interact for some more time. If you have any question, you can put it in your in chat box and we can discuss and collaborate. Remember, through collaboration, we can learn a lot of things.
Okay, I have the results of the one last poll.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, the question is, how can you boost holistic development in early childhood education? The winning entry is combine areas of development,
Wow.
followed by prioritize motor skills and focus only on academics. 3% people have answered,
Hmm.
while teaching subjects separately, none of them have answered. So
Wow.
the audience also are very accepting of holistic approach.
Absolutely.
Separate
It's
teaching,
extremely, extremely important.
yes.
Absolutely. Now, my question to you, audience, which part of the session resonated with you the most? And how do you plan to incorporate it into your teaching practice? I repeat, which part of the session resonated with you the most? And how do you plan to incorporate it in your teaching practice? Manju Tukral says, please suggest some activities to develop children with special needs. Absolutely, I'll do that. I'm waiting. Okay. Hands
Okay,
on
there,
activities that we can take up in our classroom. Your poll questions. Okay. How much? There's a
um,
question, I think.
there's a
Uh,
question. How much play and how
and
much
how,
academics when you want, and how do you want to combine them? There's
see,
this
every day,
user at Talk 360.
huh, every day, I think you should have one activity class along with the academics. It will break the monotony of the classroom. Children should move out and explore, even if they're going out for to see the garden, the play area, they do dribbling. Moving out of the classroom is extremely, extremely important. So one activity class per day is extremely important. Nijashi said, I'm very glad to know. I want to
Okay.
know which aspect, which session resonated with you most.
There's a new teacher here who says the whole session resonated with her.
Oh, wow.
So that's encouraging.
Hmm. Eugene says social and emotional. Okay. Nazreen says collaborative learning and peer learning. Shikha says emotional development. Wow. GR Geeta Shankar says the entire session. Thank you, Geeta. Solomon says, how do we deal with children who have special needs? Right. We have school counselors. We use Montessori apparatus at times for the development of their fine and gross motor skills, that they are very, very important. They are very helpful. And sessions with the counselors for special needs, you identify, we have special teachers who deal with them. You can, I saw noticed one of my teacher, she used ask the children to do clay modeling, whereas it was an language development class. She asked them to do clay modeling, and then I asked her, why are the children doing clay modeling in the language class? She said, ma'am, wait. Then we saw that after clay modeling, she asked the students to talk about their clay model. So language development was happening. So at times through
Hmm.
these activities, you can do a lot of things.
Okay, there's one audience question from Renuma. Please suggest some activities for hyperactive and intelligent child.
Hyperactive children, give them drawings, they give them picture to color. First a bigger picture, say a flower, a bigger circle, suppose a bigger circle, then
Mhm.
keep decreasing the size of the circle, but and tell them the color should not come out of that circle. That will help, that will develop patience in them. That's really important. start decreasing the size of the picture. The same picture, a larger version, then start decreasing the size of the same picture and ask them to color. That will build a lot of patience in them and decrease in sugar content. That's also very, very important.
Okay, there's one more audience question from Sophia. How do we address the children who are differently abled in the classroom?
Be a little specific? Differently able means they have problems in hearing or not able to see well or not able to move. For them, suppose if the child is physically not very active or is not able to move well, use them, give them more chance during the circle time, right? Use soft balls, use a Montessori apparatus, use abacus for their development of their fine and gross motor skills. Physical fitness classes, singing, dancing, right? Ask them to repeat the words. That's language development. Give them three words and ask them to repeat in the same sequence. Cognitive development, memorization, gradually, that would help them. Try it out. Mani Arora say collaborative learning and social emotional activity. Okay. Mr. Om Prakash says, primary school teacher from India. All right. I hope you enjoyed the session and a lot of learning had happened.
Okay, there's one more audience question, ma'am.
Hmm.
How can we solve the challenges we face in applying this approach and practices in our areas?
Repeat the question, Chaitra.
How can we solve the challenges we face in applying this approach in practice in our areas and contexts?
Challenges maybe your class size. Challenges can be the time constraint if you're talking about. So take one portion of the activity and then the next portion in the next class, or take small such activity where the time constraint is not there. You can go well prepared in your classroom. Suppose I spoke to you all about the expressions. Keep your colors ready, keep your cards ready. Just go in, start distributing.
Hmm.
Give 5 minutes. Okay, we'll have circle time. Keep names of your students in a box. Today I'm identifying five, and those, ask them to express. Next class or next day, next five. That way you'll be able to cater to all.
Okay. Okay, there's one more audience question. How can we handle the student who is not ready to sit with everyone? He sits with only a selected student.
With selected students. All right. Use random pairing. Encourage. Sit with that child for some time. Talk to that child. Spend a little. Create that bond and show them, see those two children, every day he's changing place, he's making new friends. That way your circle will become bigger, bigger and bigger. Talking, interacting with the children can solve a lot of problem, but we'll have to be a little inclusive in that. Inclusivity, that's really important.
Okay.
And use random pairing. Give them chits. Okay, today all those whose names will start with A will sit together, S's will sit together. The first letter should match. Next day you can use numbers. Third day you can use something else. So that way the children will gradually build confidence and they'll start interacting with new friends.
Very nice. So this question is not from the audience, but it's from me. So, what's the best way for teachers to work with parents to make sure the holistic approaches continues even at home?
Okay. Conduct open days or town hall. Call the
Hmm.
parents classroom. Show them. Ask them to come and witness. Share. We record our classes at times and we share. See, every day the parents can't be present, no? We conduct sessions, we conduct orientation, we show them. So here, from here we started, and this is we have, this we could achieve by following these activities. Then gradually. See, during COVID times, parents have also become the teachers because we had those online classes. So you can
Yes.
invite them for orientation, for town halls, and showcase whatever you are actually doing in the class, a classroom
Hmm.
scenario. They'll come to know what is actually happening, the way we are supposed to teach. We had a session with mothers and parents, and we asked them to repeat the phonics sounds. Because in school, we are teaching them phonics, but at home, they are teaching them A, B, C, D. Child is
Okay.
getting confused. Call them, conduct a session. Then we
Hmm.
are on the same page.
Okay.
Yes, Jen.
And there's one more audience question from Sheetal Veera. How to help a child express their emotions through words?
Express their emotions through words. Okay.
Yeah.
Ask them. I use picture card. Ask them how are they feeling.
Hmm.
These are four emotions. How are you feeling? Not how,
Okay.
what will it take. Give them MCQs. Are you feeling happy?
Hmm.
Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling joyful? Are you scared? These are four words. What are you feeling? Now you have to tell me. You have to repeat what I said. So this picture depicts what? Is it joy? Is it sad? Gradually vocabulary building.
Okay.
Then again, ask them to repeat the same sentence. Repetition is important.
Mhm. Then one last question from me. I think the audience questions are mostly taken. What are the key elements of holistic approach to early childhood education, and how does it really differ from traditional methods?
See, traditionally we initial early time children used to play with dough, isn't it? When
Hmm.
while the mothers were doing it, while the mothers were preparing chapatis, the child used to play
Right.
with dough.
Hmm.
Nowadays, dough modeling is extremely important for fine and gross motor skills. We were doing it, but we were not doing it consciously. Now we are doing it. We know we have to develop all the skills. We were giving them rattle, we were asking them to listen to the sound, but we were not aware of these terms. Now we are doing it consciously because we know all the skills need to be developed.
Hmm.
We, traditional ways, we may be focusing on few things. We were correcting the children, now we don't correct. We encourage them to correct their own mistakes. That's the difference between traditional and modern.
Okay. Okay. Fine. The audience doesn't seem to have any other questions. Any last words, ma'am? Any last messages?
It was an interactive session. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was my privilege to take up this session. I've been into education from past 23 years now. And thank you, Center, for giving me this platform where I could interact with so many educators
Thank you,
from
ma'am. Thank you
all the
so
world.
much, Ms. Somachandra, for a very engaging and informative session for our community of teachers. And thank you all participants for participating very actively. And I'm sure teachers have a lot of takeaways from this session. Some of my favorites were the number of hands-on activities you suggested, ma'am. I can use it for my kids also. That simple, that very nicely done. And also the importance of circle times and how to develop a social experience for kids, and how important is science and creativity. And that one line I loved was creativity is not identical to intelligence. So that is something that
Absolutely.
struck very much. And also the my emotions activity. So these were some of the best things that I liked and from the session. So I'm sure the audience also have a lot of their likes and key takeaways.
Yes, in our school, City
Hmm.
Montessori School, we believe every child is a lighthouse of the society, right? Every
That's
child
right.
has a role to play.
Hmm. Very nice.
That's the key point.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Team Center. Thank you, audience, for being so
Thank you.
interactive.
So, just one more thing for the audience. If you have registered and filled out the feedback form for this session, You can check your record of participation in the app in the My Learning section. So I'll just give you the instructions for that. You open My
Okay.
Center app on your device, navigate to the ongoing webinar section, click on submit feedback. Please note that this will be available at 6 o'clock. During the end of the session, we'll give you a 4-digit code. The code for this session has been shared. Enter this code to access the feedback form. Complete the feedback form and you will be able to download your record of participation instantly. So this new process has been introduced to streamline your experience and ensure that the participation is instantly recognized. Thank you so much participants for engaging with us today. To register for more interesting and upcoming webinars, please visit the My Center app. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you, Chaitra. Have a great
Thank you,
day.
ma'am. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye bye.